DeMar, did you surprise yourself this year?
No, I didn't, cause I know how hard I worked this past summer. I really pushed myself. You know, tough, man. With days I didn't want to get up and do nothing. But I know how bad I wanted it. And what it was going to take, and so I didn't surprise myself.
DeMar, how important do you think it is for this organization to bring back Kyle Lowry?
Definitely important. We wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for Cal. His leadership that he brought in, his toughness at that point guard position. So
We understand that you had the flu. Just tell us how you're feeling.
I feel a lot better than I did. I didn't really want to say too much before the game, but the night before I was kind of bad.
You get this question every year at this time. Where do you feel you need to improve to make yourself a better player?
Man, it's a lot. I don't even know where to start. It's a lot. It's a lot. I really haven't evaluated every single thing, but I know it's a lot for sure that, I'm frustrated with myself that I know I should be better at, and I will be better at next year.
And just overall, how pleased are you with how the season went from the trade to where it got in the playoffs?
I mean, looking back on everything, it seemed like everything happened so fast from, the trade so early on, to everybody not knowing what was going to happen. People really doubting us, counting us out, using that tanking word or whatever. We definitely pleased, how we played every single night, because we knew we laid it out there every single night and wasn't no question about that. And, it sucks to lose in the Game 7 in playoffs, but, nobody picked us to even make it, so.
DeMar, true or false, you know that there's a reputation with this franchise. It's a place people don't want to come to, and they don't want to stay if they have a choice. You're one of the guys that stayed. You're talking to other guys in the league, and I assume a lot of guys at the All-Star game. Do you think that perception is changing, that Toronto is a place people want to play in?
Yeah, me personally, I never understood that. For me being here, I never understood why players said that, why that was always brought up. I never got that. I never understood it. So, I never really spoke on it because, I never was on the outside looking in, just where I've been since day one. So I never had a complaint.
Have you talked to other guys about it?
Nah, not too bad. They always ask me how I like it, and I always tell them, it's a great city, great place to play, and, simple as that.
Everybody who we've talked to sort of said it was a special locker room this year, yet in this series there were a few flaws that were sort of exposed talent-wise. What's more important to focus on? I know it's the general manager's job and not yours, but what's the most important thing for this team to build?
You think about it, man. We lost the Game 7 by 1 point. 1 point. 1 point, and who knows, man. It's I don't know. I really can't answer that question because I really don't have the answer exactly right now, but we lost by 1 point in the Game 7, man.
You guys had a sold-out crowd inside. There was, I don't know if you knew, around 6,000 people outside. Everyone was really coming behind this team in the city. Even Jay-Z tweeted a congrats to you guys. What's that like to see? He did. What's that like to sort of see the city come up and support you guys?
That's what it's all about, man. I said something to the team last night, how much I appreciate everybody in that locker room, because me and Amir have been here through the tough times. And I don't think people really understand how the fans really supported us even when we were struggling. Our fans were still right there, coming at every game, supporting us, So you got to appreciate that, man. You don't know how big that is. When we seen clips of, the fans outside, when we on the road, fans outside, it was raining, cold, weather wasn't all like, and they still outside. You can't be more thankful that, I tweeted something yesterday just to thank all the fans, because that's amazing, man.
DeMar, it's kind of early for this, but if you look back to your third year, what are you expecting out of Jonas and Terrence? What kind of a jump do you think they can make?
Man, the sky's the limits for both of them. You know, I wish I was 21 and played in a game 7 series against a great veteran team like that. They're gonna take a lot away from that. You know, both of them. You know how hard you got to play. You know the talent level. You know how much stronger you need to be. How to hold your composure. You know, you learn so much from the game of basketball, being in them type of situations, and for them to be thrown in a fire at that young of an age is definitely helpful. You know, I had to learn the hard way, and it helped me a lot. So for them to go through something like that is definitely going to be beneficial.
DeMar, now that the season's all over and it shook down the way it did, you mentioned the tanking earlier. Did that piss you guys off?
Yes. I think I said it. Somebody asked me that before, and I took it as disrespect. You know, me personally, because I know how hard every single guy in that locker room work. Stay after practice, come before practice, come back at night, and to use that word, question us on that word, you know, was definitely disrespectful.
In Game 7, Terrence started showing signs he's figured out. How did he impress you towards the end of that game with he did things we didn't expect to see from him in this series?
He stayed with it. You know, we kept telling him, man, so what, you missing shots? We need you, you know. Don't worry about none of that. Don't let nothing frustrate you. Keep playing. You know, and he learned. You know, every single game was tough for him. You know, it was, you know, especially, you know, for myself as well. You know, I was telling him it was my first playoff too, so I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like, we in this together. You know, we got to figure it out, and you know, he stuck with it. You know, that's the thing about T. Ross. He stuck with it, and you know, he didn't want to let us down. You know, that's the type of guy T. Ross is.
You mentioned the summer workouts when you sometimes didn't even want to. When you're facing traps and double teams and you're in a grueling playoff series, like, do you think back to those days?
So you think about, you got to figure out a way to get through this double team. You know, people don't realize how hard it is for, you know, if you so-called the guy that, you know, they keying on you, it's tough because it get to a point to where it's not just you have to score the ball. You have to figure out how to make your teammates better and, you know, little things like that. So it definitely get hard. And you think about them days where, you know, you wake up and you not sure if you want to go work out, but you got to do it.
Going through the tough times with this team in your own personal development, how much better do you see this team being next season as a result of going through these playoffs?
I mean, a lot better, 10 times better, because, you know, we understand how hard you have to play to win games, you know, and to play at a high level for 7 games against a veteran team like that. We understand that if we go with that mindset from the beginning of this season, sky's the limit, man. There's no question about it.
DeMar, given the closeness of your relationship with Kyle, will it be difficult for you to watch him go through this process and maybe entertain offers?
No, because no, I won't be. No.
How about Coach Casey's status moving forward? Where do you stand on that?
I ain't got to worry about it. It'll all work itself out.
It's fair to say you support him.
And support them, love them both.
DeMar, to that point, to some degree, do you, at this stage of your career, become more vocal with Masai or with whomever to at least voice your opinions, let them know how you think and, you know, your opinion of the direction the team needs to go?
I mean, yeah, you know, if he asks me questions of how I feel about certain things, you know, I think, you know, just be honest, you know, tell him how I feel, you know, might not agree with it, but, you know, if he asks me, yeah, in my honest opinion, but, you know, it's my job to go out there and play basketball. I'm not going to just walk up to him and be like, look, we should do this, that, you know what I mean? Ain't my job. But if he asks me something, you know, for sure, you know, I give my honest opinion on the situation.
Yesterday, Dwayne talked about the growth of the team, but also that he had grown himself over the course of the season and the series. What can you say about what you've seen from Dwayne as a coach from his first year right up to this year and through that 7-game series?
One thing I respect about Coach Casey, man, he been consistent. He been the same Dwayne Casey since he been here. Preached the same thing. told us to stick with the same principles, and it worked. You know, he did it, and everything he said came together like it said it would. And you know, you gotta respect Coach Casey. He never changed up. You could go in his office, knock on his door, talk to him whenever. You could text him. You could, you know, I mean, he's a player coach. You know, he's a great dude. Sometimes you don't even look at him like a coach because you could go up to him and talk with him about any situation. So I think that's what helped us a lot.
You guys would work when they do pay off. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels great, you know, because you don't question, you know, if your head coach tells you something, you know, you're going to listen. He's not just saying it just to say it. You know, he's not going to tell you to do something just to do it. You know, it's a reason behind everything. And, you know, once you respect the man's word like that, you know, you're going to work for it.
What he was saying was going to pay off?
Nah, I never doubted it. I never doubted it because it was genuine. You know, Casey never been a dude just to say something, just to say it. You know, when he says something, he definitely mean it.
DeMar, how would you feel if, for whatever reason, Kyle wasn't back with this team?
I'm not worried about that.
DeMar, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but everything about your body language is telling us that Kyle Lowry has assured you he's coming back.
I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't say he was. I didn't say he wasn't. I just said I'm not worried about it.